same here. Oh my gosh, I am running so late and I don't have any good excuse other than last minute. I'm like, oh crap, I still have to do this. Oh crap, that's still not done yet. So I think we're here. I think we are good. I'll wait, make sure everything is working. I want to throw this out there. I want to start with this. Somebody posted in the art group when I looked over on Facebook to post this. Somebody posted a complete, like, dang near complete copy of a Christian Lassen painting. I know those dolphins well because I painted them for my own practice. I probably have them in some of my old paintings when I didn't understand copyright. I seriously doubt you're both using the same reference photo. I think you copied Christian Lassen and did not give him credit. Be aware of that. When you use another artwork, another artist's artwork, you can't just be like, well, I painted it, so it's mine. That belongs to that other artist. You just stole from, you wouldn't want someone, like if you come up with some cool idea, some cool composition, and some other artist uses that, how are you going to feel? Is that going to annoy you? You may say, oh, I don't care. BS. You would be annoyed. Don't steal other people's work. I mean, if you're going to do it for your own learning, which I get because I've done that. If you're doing it for your own learning, luckily with me, I mean, the internet wasn't really a thing when I was learning to paint, so I wasn't getting myself into the same amount of trouble that a lot of people are now. That is a copyright violation. Well, part of me says you're probably not going to get Christian Lassen's attention like by having copied his stuff, but the painting that I'm talking about, these two dolphins, they're freaking amazing. Really good. Good enough, I know exactly where that painting came from because I've used it. So that's like, because I've done it myself. Don't claim it as yours. It's not yours. Make sure if you're going to do something as fan art or your own practice, label it as that. You can't sell or make prints of that legally. The original artist could come after you for that because I know damn well that was not your reference photo because I know that painting. So anyway, that is something that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of when you're doing stuff. I mean, the painting's stunning. Absolutely stunning. It's part of why I was late because I made a quick comment. I'm like, no. And we may just take that post down and let the artist repost if Joseph or Nick, if over on me on Facebook, you'll see where I commented on it. That post should probably be removed and let the artist repost with proper credit to the original artist. So that is definitely something that you want to be aware of. And trust me, I get it. I mean, we learn to paint by copying other artists. I get it. I am not bashing you for that. And the painting is stunning, breathtaking, holy crap, amazing. So much so that you're competing with Christian Lassen. Like, we're not even talking about someone who, you're just starting to learn to paint, kind of looks like you painted it with your feet, because that's where we all start when we're painting. No, this is competition. No, this is going to be an issue. So you do need to be very aware of that when you are using other people's reference photo, or that wasn't even someone else's reference photo. You're using someone else's painting as a reference, and it doesn't matter that you changed the background. It's not yours. It wasn't yours to use. So be aware of that. And I've made the same mistake myself. Trust me, I get it. So no judgment there, but I want to make sure you're aware of that. And you need to be giving credit. Like even me, if you guys copy one of my paintings, you need to give me credit as the original artist. It does it's like, really? You can't even give me credit? And most of you guys do. But it's like, I've seen where I see this more with teenagers, because teenagers don't get things all the time, where they'll think, well, I painted it, it's mine. It's my design. I did most the work of, the design is most the work there, and I did it for you. But I've seen where kids have entered it into school competitions and stuff and won, and people contact me going, hey, this person violated. You can't do that. So anyway, you just want to be aware of that. Don't violate somebody else's copyright. Unfortunate for that artist, I'm super aware of Christian Lassen because he was my art hero. That's what my marine life, the stylized stuff that I do in my marine work largely was based off learning from copying his work. So trust me, I get it. But you do need to get to the point where you are like, there's a watermark on it. Why? It's not yours. I don't know why you watermarked that. It's not yours. You can say you painted it. You can be proud of yourself, and you should be. You're amazing. Use legal copyright reference or legal reference photos. So anyway, I want to throw that out there because that is definitely something you guys just need to be aware of. Okay. Missy keeps hearing a ding. Is anyone else having that? Oh, Joseph said it's fine. Sheila says it's fine. Okay, so before I get ranting too much about anything, I don't have any good rants other than that one. Let me go ahead and get this base layer done. Oh, this paint is really wet. That's still on my easel from last week's painting. Okay. So we need teal. You know, I'm going to keep this simple and just use straight teal. Well, hold on. Let me pull that reference photo up. Maybe I'll add a little bit of phthalo green to it. So we just need to get a background color. You can paint yours any color you want. The reference photo I didn't post anywhere because I didn't do half my job today. Actually, I worked nonstop. No, that's not true. I played World of Warcraft for like 45 minutes when I woke up with my coffee. But anyway, besides, I've been working all day, but I did not get the reference photo up. But this one, I think I got it from Unsplash, and it's just a goldfish. It's just a goldfish against a black background. So I'm going to be mixing some phthalo green in with this turquoise for mine, because we all know my obsession with teal things. Okay, that is not the paintbrush I'm looking for. Oh my gosh, I've got a mess over here. Let's see. So, just getting started. Oh, you might be hearing on your own. If you've got MeWe open, that's the ding you're hearing. Mine's closed, but that's probably what you're hearing. I hear it all day long because that's the one app I keep open on my computer because I love MeWe. But anyway, this, if you are looking for just a straight tutorial, that is Patreon and Subscribestar. Either one, it's the same on both platforms. Same content on both. You don't need to sign up to both. But if you're looking for just straight, like step-by-step tutorial without me rambling about copyright violations and frogs and dogs and whatever I end up rambling about, you just want tutorials, that is what Patreon or Subscribestar is. For as little as $4 a month, you get access to all of my longer tutorials. I've got a new one every single week in multiple mediums. You can go over to my website, Lachri.com. There should be a link in the description. I doubt that. I wonder if I even got my description up here right. But you can see the full Patreon library, although I do need to do more of that. So anyway, okay, let's go ahead. I'm just going to get some paint on here. I'm going to mix a little bit of black in with mine so it's not so bright. Give this a grayish tone. I think I like it. Now this is a Frederick's watercolor canvas board. It was provided to us by Frederick's, so this video is partially, or the giveaway is partially sponsored by Frederick's. They were already the only canvas I used, but just for transparency, I am sponsored by them. So there you go. But this is a super, ooh, nice color. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix the thing because this is not showing up for me like it is, or for you guys like it is for me. But oh, this is exactly what I was hoping for. Yay. So, this is a really smooth canvas, and even though I am working in acrylics, it works wonderfully or on this watercolor canvas board. So it's really, really smooth. I'm gonna need some more paint out. And Gillette said, I really want to learn how I can do a live stream with 2 cameras. Is it an app? I have no idea. Yes, I have 2 cameras, and then well, technically 3 because I've got one on the hands. But it's also OBS. I've got all the cameras running through OBS. It's a really nice, that's what I use for all my streaming, to like set up all the different angles and stuff. And OBS is free. Just type in OBS. It's Open Broadcast System, Open Broadcast, whatever. But it is wonderful. I love it. There is a fly. I actually hit the fly. Thank God I'm painting the fly. You are being painted. You are now plastic. This fly, I put a fan out. Let's rinse that out. That's kind of gross. We have not had flies get in the house too much this season because I put a fan on my patio, and that seems to be where they were getting in, and it really made a difference. But I had one in here earlier, and it was driving me insane. I just like stabbed him with the paintbrush. I don't know why he stood there, but he got painted. Not into the canvas, he was on the board, but wow, I thought he'd move. That was a little bit of a surprise to me and kind of gross. Don't worry, I didn't actually mush him. I just got him covered in paint enough that he can't fly off. So whoever wins this painting isn't actually getting fly guts. There were no guts involved. Still a little gross though. Was unexpected. Okay. So I don't need this to be perfectly smooth because I'm going to be doing some airbrush over this, and I want it to have that little bit of a worn look. So I think I may just leave my brush strokes. Normally I'll come through with a mop brush and get rid of the brush strokes, but I want that like old wallpaper type look. So I'm gonna leave that, and I'm gonna try to fix the color. Let me dry this, so plug your ears. And I still have not fixed the thing Joseph keeps telling me to fix so that I don't have to tell you to plug your ears. Come on. There we go. So this color, I have to look super like, I don't even know what color you would call that, in order to get this to be as close as possible to, so we're going with making the painting look closer. Oh, hold on, that has to change too. We're having an issue, an auto exposure. Whoa, hold on. There we go, that will help turning auto exposure off. Let me see if I can adjust this a bit. Trying to get it kind of close. Whoop, nope, that's not right. That's not right either. That's also not right. Maybe like that, I guess. My hand is not that tone, but whatever. Okay, let's see. Hi, Angie's Creative Studio from Arkansas. Hi, Alana. She says way too low. That is all. Yeah, Open Broadcast Studio. Not okay. That makes more sense. How's the weather in Texas? Amazing. We have had so we're having some electrical issues like in our state. The government screwed up some stuff here and subsidizing things, and that made it so that our normal power, like it's kind of involved. I've done a lot of research on this. See, this is why I'm not a fan of government getting involved in stuff, but they mess everything up. But anyway, we are likely to end up having rolling blackouts this summer, and it may be an ongoing thing for the next couple of years, something we've never experienced here. There are reasons, look into them. But anyway, so I have to have power generators, backup power generators for my reef tanks, just to keep them running. I don't think I would have gotten back into reef keeping if I knew we were going to be having power outages. It is so stressful, like, to keep. So anyway, yeah, but we've been really lucky. We have had the most mild summer so far that I've ever, I think, seen in Texas. We've had a lot of rain, a lot more bugs than usual because of the rain. Like fungus gnats we're seeing more of. My husband found roaches out on our patio. We have not seen roaches, so he had to treat for that. He used to work for Terminex, so he knows all the things. But yeah, it's been really very humid, but very mild compared to what we usually see, which is kind of a big deal considering, this isn't working, considering, why aren't you working? It doesn't even make sense. Why are you not doing the thing you're supposed to do? You are dumb. And anyway, it's been real, thank God, because of the power situation, I have been like, as long as we can put off it getting so hot that everyone has to blast their ACs. I mean, we run our air conditioners most of the time all year round here in Texas. But usually summer gets really bad, and they've been telling us things were going to get bad electric wise here. So luckily it's been mild enough that it's kind of put that off some. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm a bit concerned, and I'm really annoyed because I would not have, those of us with reefs or who keep their certain animals, people with health stuff, like the idea of rolling blackouts starting in, like, this is dangerous for a lot of people and animals, and in my case, the reefs. So yeah, it's kind of terrifying. But anyway, it's been nice right now. I'm trying to get caught up. It looks like I'm really... Here we go. Sally said, hi, I think I stumbled into the dingy MeWe camp. Huh. It's got to be, I bet you, I'm curious to see if you guys left your MeWe open. Let's see. Scrolling. Let's get caught up on these while this sets for just a moment. Zay said, you also get fruit flies. They've been around my place like crazy. So you probably, and this is important, you probably do not have fruit flies. You probably have fungus gnats, and there is a difference, and you want to know that because it's different in how you treat them. What most people, I don't know why everyone, and it's not just you, like everyone calls fruit flies or fungus gnats fruit flies for some reason. It is not the same thing at all. I actually breed fruit flies, wingless fruit flies, for my dart frogs. Totally different critter. Fungus gnats will get in your plants from being overwatered, or if it's really humid outside, if it's been really wet, they'll get out there, and it's like too much water is what brings in the fungus gnats. There's a product called mosquito bites. You can find it on Amazon, and you can make a tea out of it. Look up like mosquito bites tea. And if you water your plants with that, that'll take care, if it's coming from your indoor plants, that'll take care of that. You can do it outside too, but that will take care of the fungus gnats, no problem. So that's why I say it's important to know what it is that you actually have, because most people say they have fruit flies when in reality it's fungus gnats. So fungus gnats are really easy they're annoying, but they don't really hurt anything. They get in the soil. If you have plants that keep wet, usually once you correct like your watering habits with the plants, that'll take care of most of them. But yeah. So yes, we get fungus gnats. We have had them bad outside. Like if I open my studio windows, they are all like coming because they're small enough to get through the screens. It's been a bit annoying. Let's see. I'm just scrolling. Oh. That just jumped. Joseph giving me a hard time. I am paranoid about messing with OBS as like with the audio stuff because of audio problems I had. I'm like, sound is coming out. We're just going to accept it as good enough for now. I need to mess with that. And I need to mess with the other because I got a GoPro that can live stream. So I need to mess with the settings on all of that at the same time. Joseph said I would call that color Jersey Shore spray. Yeah, that looks about accurate. Kimberly said, I must be in the wrong place on MeWe. I'm on your page. It's not on my page. It's in our art group. Like I intentionally did not post this live stream on my page because I know it gets confusing for like people end up commenting there. I won't see it. You've got to go to our art group on MeWe, and that is where you can enter. I think I featured this post. It should be there. Let's see. Janine said, hello, I'm not playing well now either. Oh, I want to watch you and said, oh, thank you. Just almost got up. Here we go. Eo said, it has been 45 Celsius in northern Alberta for the last couple of days. Our first time here. Oh, man. See, and you guys aren't prepared for it. Here, it gets hot, and we've got air conditioning. We're fine. You guys aren't prepared for that. Oh, that sucks. I am very sorry for you. Oh, that's not fun. Cat's Art Pick said, that was so cool that you caught that fly with your brush. Cool or gross? I'm not sure which we would go with there. Maybe I'm turning into part frog where I can catch bugs way easier than that. Like, what is normal? Okay, so I am going with a damask print on this because that's my thing. Somebody asked on a recent live stream, and they didn't ask on the live stream, they asked once the live stream was over. I don't understand why you put the damask background. Because it looks cool, because I like it. I mean, I'm not sure. You can say that about anything in art. Why'd you go with blue instead of orange? Like, I like it. I think that's enough of an answer. Yes, so the giveaway. Right now, the giveaway code word, whatever, is MeWe isn't banning competitors or competitor posts or, some version of that. Facebook is banning people or blocking and deleting posts that mention or link to MeWe. Gee, who's afraid of a competitor? They try to make it sound like MeWe's not a serious competitor, but now they're saying, oh no, that's spam. Is it now? Because are you serious? Like, God, Facebook is such crap. What a horrible company. They used to be, I used to like them. They used to be good, and now they are not. So yeah, anyway, so we are over at MeWe. Yeah, this is probably, hold on, I've got to balance this so I get it fairly straight. Normally on something this small, to do that toward the background the way that I'm doing, I would probably just, there we go, lay it flat, but obviously for the live stream purposes, that's not so convenient. So we will do it, actually I should probably go up a little bit higher. 1 second, I'll pull this up on the screen in just a moment. I'm just going to tape it into place so that I can airbrush this and have it be semi at least straight. That didn't stick. Why aren't you sticking tape? Your tape. That's like your job. That is what you do. Okay, hopefully that stays semi in. It didn't stay in place. That plan did not work out at all as intended. Okay, why are you not? I'm just gonna have to airbrush this flat, I think, in order to get this to come out right. I don't know why I'm having trouble tonight. So I'll airbrush the vignette part on camera, but for this, I'm just gonna lay it flat. This is how I normally would do it. Just to make sure I can keep this about right. So give me 1 second. Let's see, let's go ahead and get you lined up then. That looks pretty good. Okay, and hopefully my airbrush is not totally clogged because heaven forbid I actually clean it. We all know I never do that. I tell you guys to do it, but then I don't do it myself. Where is the black airbrush paint? I actually cleaned up in here last week and now I still can't find stuff. Here we go. So I need my Vallejo, I need a spray bottle, 1 second. And because I can't be troubled to actually clean out my airbrush after I use it, I'm going to test it with water to make sure it's not clogged. Uh-oh, that might be clogged. Crap, that doesn't look good. Oh no. It's draining. We should be okay. I mean, it's not great, but it's going to work. You're still good, right? Don't move. I'm going to put a couple drops of my Vallejo airbrush, or the flow improver. Ah, man, and I just moved it with my hand. That defeated the whole purpose of spraying it down here to keep it straight. There we go. When I work large, this is actually easier, but on a small scale like this, it's hard to tape this and get the whole thing covered. Okay, that should do it, and then we'll do the vignette look around the edges. Yep, we are good. Oh, I like how this is coming out. Whoever wins this, you may have to fight me for this painting because I already like it. This is hey, look at me talking with my head off camera. I'm good at this. Where do I want to put this to dry? No. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled program. There we go. Let's see. So yeah, the giveaway is just for US residents just because shipping is an issue right now, shipping overseas and the cost of shipping and the drama of shipping and that whole thing. I will say those of you who have been waiting, who have won, except for Rob who won first, Rob's going to wait longer because I screwed up. So this is what I finally packaged 6. I can't find my other envelopes. I have 6. I have like 6 more and I don't know where they are. So I have enough. I seriously cannot find the other envelopes I bought. So I packaged them and I go to get Rob's. I'm like, I know Rob won first. He's been waiting forever. His was the only one that ended up getting put in my cabinet, not with the other ones. And it's not varnished yet. So I just started varnishing it today. I'm like, wow, I'm going to make that poor guy wait forever to get his winning painting, or his giveaway. So I did get 6, the 6 following Rob's, or I was going to wait till the next batch. Package. I'm going to print labels today. We'll get that out soon. I'm also almost completely caught up. I was like 7 months behind on Patreon postcards. We got all caught up. Linda came over and helped me, and she did so much work. She was here from like 5 until 12:30 at night, like just labels and post. We worked so much getting that done and it feels amazing. But postcards, I am waiting. I did run out of stamps. I had more stamps than I thought I did. I really didn't think we'd get as far as we did, but we got everything from, so I thought I was caught up from I thought I still needed to do January's. No, I was as far back as November. I was shocked. So anyway, we got everything except some of the US postage. All international went out today. Some of the US for April and May. I'm waiting for stamps, but those are all sitting on like as soon as those stamps get here, those are going out. So finally, I am getting caught up on that. And oh, it was wonderful to get caught up. Like it is one of the best feelings in the world because I always feel so bad every time I'm like, crap, I need to get those postcards. Crap, I haven't done that yet. So yeah, we got that done and it's amazing and I'm really excited. Okay, so I just want to make this darker around my edges. Get that nice vignette look. But keep an eye out because those postcards are going to start arriving finally, and the goal is to keep up on, and I know I've said that before, the problem is I can keep caught up on something that I like to do every Saturday. I do a certain thing, or a certain day of a week, but something that only gets done once a month, that's where I get screwed up on trying to keep up to date. Like it's very hard for me to work that in. So anyway, Linda wants to help regularly. We'll see. But I know one other person had contacted me. She wanted to speak in Dutch while here. I don't speak Dutch. She said she could teach me. My dad's Dutch. My stepdad, not my biological. So I don't have the cool Dutch genes. A little jealous, you guys, who are actually tall. There we go. Nice and dark. I'm liking that. Okay. So anyway, point is I've got people who are helping me now, and I'm really hoping you guys start getting your postcards on a timely manner. I have been so bad. Okay, let me rinse out my airbrush. I'm going to have to paint something with this exact color background for me. I already this painting makes me happy already. Okay, we need that to dry completely, and then we can put the goldfish on. So I'm going to dry this. Plug your ears, because I'm not listening to Joseph's advice, apparently. Tara said, how are all the frogs doing? I'm going to attempt to draw one soon. Awesome. They're doing good. Glitch, I think, might be improving. Glitch is my little one with it. Well, she's not little anymore. She has had a growth spurt. My gosh, she's getting big. But she's not head bobbing. Her head constantly looked like she was like listening to music. If she was awake, if she was asleep, she was fine. But as soon as she'd sit up and start moving, she's bobbing. And was it last night or the night before I fed her? It was the night before, last night, so tonight's her next night feeding. But the night before when I fed her, she jumped and actually went the direction she seemed to want to. She jumped and hit my shoulder, and usually that's what purple frog always does. That's like where they're angled when I'm feeding them, or when I've had to force feed. So yeah, she seems to be, she's still kind of wobbly, she still kind of acts like, moves like she's drunk, but the not bobbing the head anymore, I think we might be seeing improvement. So maybe she's healing. She's doing good otherwise. For the other ones, Purple Frog, he still has edema where he retains water under his skin all over. But he's eating. He is eating, so that's good. He's been barking a lot. I posted the video of that, the sound clip of that over on MeWe a couple days ago. We just need this to cool and dry, and then we can move on. But let's see who else. Cookie's doing great. Murphy's doing great. Haven't had any health issues with them. The two special needs frogs, Sir Finley is eating and doing great. Sir Finley's the one with two arms that are kind of stuck back. The other one that has the deformity on the back, moving around more. I don't know how well he's eating. That one's had a few issues, but as far as we can tell, the parasites have been cleared up, so that part's good. But yeah, that is the frog drama. Let's see. And all the dark frogs are doing great. They said, well, Lisa must be working out. You look smaller from previous streams. I lost weight from a year ago. I went on a whole weight loss thing, but it may just be the camera angle and the way the light's hitting. I don't think I've lost anything anytime recently. I mean, I've been just maintaining, I guess. I think it's probably the lighting in here is weird. The one that normally shines from here is not working. That I had to pull off. I don't know why that one's not working. So I think it's just making it look more extreme than I really look. I mean, we walk, but that's me and Gibson go on our walks. But other than that, I have been lifting a lot of water containers though. So I guess I have been lifting from my saltwater tank, and those are heavy. Oh my gosh. So I guess I have been doing some lifting. Let's see. Okay. Now, tape. Where is all of my tape? Not over here. So I'm going to save some time. I've got him pre-drawn out. We're going to use the transfer paper to transfer him on there. Just tape that in place on the upper corners. And then I've got some transfer paper. Do I still have, oh yeah, here it is. Oh, I've got new transfer paper. Okay. See, cleaning my studio, I actually found some stuff that's been missing. Transfer paper was one of them. This is kind of amazing. Just rip a piece of that out. And hopefully I don't lose that again. Karina said, I made it. Hectic morning here. First client is not here again, so I have a little time. Love the fish. Well, I'm glad you made it. Okay. So I'll just slide that in there. Actually, I need to check. I have a tendency to do this backwards. Nope, we've got it the right direction. So what I'm going to do is trace over the outline. I am not going to really worry about details at this point because we're going to need to paint him white first. Being that he is orange, if I were just to paint orange or red, those are very translucent colors and we wouldn't really see anything. So what we're going to do to cover the background is paint white first, let it dry, well, use a hairdryer, and then we'll come back through and paint the orange and then the details. Now, one thing I am going to do is on the fins, at the very edges of the fins, let that background color show a little bit. So I will draw some on the fins. So I just have my general areas where that's going to fade into that background, where I won't fade it or I won't fill it with solid white, just a bit. I'm going to also mark in the eyes now just to make my life a little bit easier later on. And I'll show you what I mean. So one of the things that I'll do while I am painting it white, I can still keep my place a little bit on some of this by leaving those backgrounds. And nothing I'm saying makes sense right now until I show you. So let's see, whoops, look at here. Okay. I've got a little bit of, do I have an eraser over here? No, I do not. This one's very good. Got a little bit of smudging with the white there, so we'll just erase that. Yeah, that'll probably come off better with water. Anyway. So when I paint, what I'm going to do, because I marked in where the eyes were, I'm going to let some like brush strokes show around that so I don't have to redraw that later, just to save some time. Whenever I can save time, that is what I want to do. So we'll start. We've got some white paint, which I really need to get some new paint out because that is starting to dry. It's been on my palette way too long. So see, as I go through how I'm painting it in sections and not just randomly covering the whole thing, I'll be able to see my actual brush strokes to keep track of what goes where, even though I'm mostly filling everything in with white. The brush strokes, oh crap, I just got blue in that. Hold on, I need to get more white paint out. This is too dry. And now I'm mixing blue in with it, which is not what I want. I need to clean my palette up a bit. Let's just start with a new batch of white. Ooh, I just made one heck of a mess. More than usual. Oops, sorry. Almost got you with the paint, huh? Why are you throwing paint at me? I was being a good hound. Clean myself up here. I got paint all over the place. Oh my gosh, I really got paint all over. If you get paint on your hands, it's not that it's like gonna hurt you, especially the acrylics. It's non-toxic. It's just that if I've got it all over and I put my hands somewhere, I'm gonna end up with fingerprints where I don't want them. So, white paint. There we go. Here we go. Tara said, delighted glitches having improvements. Listen to the sound of that barking. It's still strange. It's not a normal frog bark. Not normal at all. And the dart frogs have like this beautiful sound. Well, the dart frogs I have, not all dart frogs have a pretty call. But my dart frogs all have, the kind I have really pretty calls. And then the red-eyed tree frogs sound like smoking chihuahuas. It's really funny. They don't sound elegant at all. Okay. Trying that again without getting blue paint all over the place. LA for Dreams said, hi Lisa, it's great catching a live. Yay, glad you're here. Very adorable fish, thank you. Susan said, good morning. I'm late, but I've had coffee, so therefore I am awake. Nice. Zay said, when you speak against painting, when you speak against painting something copyrighted, do you mean with intent to sell, posting on social media, not drawing those things at all? Legally, you're not supposed to draw them at all. But, I mean, if you're drawing it for your own practice, most people are totally fine with that. Most, not everyone. But it gets a little bit different and a little bit more, I guess, hairy, just because with social media, if we post it online, then everyone knows you did it. So like before, when I was younger and I would paint something, no one saw it. No one knew who I was. No one was going to see it. It was no big deal. But now with social media, we're all posting things online. So if you violated someone's copyright, they're going to see that and be like, you didn't even credit me as like, I'm doing this for practice. So you legally, just the fact that you've done it that would be a violation of someone's copyright. Realistically, how are they going to know? Social media. So, you know, when you start posting things on social media, you've got to be aware of some stuff. And even if it is for your own practice, when you start selling that or making prints or anything like that, that's obviously going to be getting much worse. But you don't want to be posting stuff on social media. And like the post that I saw earlier, it implies like, oh, here's my painting, my design, my everything. And it's not. So that you just want to be aware of that. But with copyright, I mean, anything that is not yours that you paint, you're not supposed to do that. Is anyone going to necessarily come after you if you did? Probably not. Until you start, I mean, it just, so copyright's weird too, because there are a lot of variables. So that's also something to keep in mind. But if it's not yours, make sure if you're painting something else, you may run into fan art, which would be more like painting something from Game of Thrones, but you need to mark, hey, this is fan art. This isn't my concept, my whatever, not your reference photo for sure. So that is, a lot of companies are cool with fan art. Some are not, like Disney, typically not. So it depends on the company. Game of Thrones used to encourage people, then again, Game of Thrones used to make good shows, and we all know how that went, but Game of Thrones used to encourage fan art. So it depends on the company and who you're copying. Like, let's say you copy one of my tutorials. Obviously, that's intended. Like, I'm okay with you copying my stuff for learning. But you should really credit it. Can you guys see Gibson with his legs in the air? He's been laying on his back most of today. That is classy. Let's see. But ideally, you would be finding reference photos that you have the rights to do. It's not a good idea. I mean, you can just avoid all of that problem by using royalty-free reference photos or taking your own reference photos. But, and I mean, to a certain extent, you're only going to find so much when it comes to dolphins. That's harder to find a reference photo of, obviously. But you don't want to copy another. You can copy the style they painted in, and you'll notice that with mine. Mine are definitely based off of the way that Christian Lassen does the style. Not completely, but you can certainly see where I am heavily influenced by him. But you still don't want to copy it exactly. And I get it. I probably have old stuff on my website that was a copy of one of his dolphins. Actually, I will say though, there were some of his that the reference photo. So back in like the 90s when we were painting, before the internet, people would just get a random book or what are they? Calendar. That shouldn't have been so hard. But a calendar, and use that as reference. Like, I used to have a subscription to National Geographic just to use it as reference photo because I had no idea that wasn't legal. Like, I didn't know. But it's funny because I came across an old calendar and it was a humpback whale, and it was either Christian Lassen or Weiland. I think it was Christian Lassen. Yeah. He violated someone else's copyright too, because back then I just think it wasn't as known. Chances of him having the rights to have used that, not real high. So I thought that was kind of funny. But like there have been photos where I'm like, I found the same photo that you used as your reference. So kind of interesting. But I mean, now we know more, and it's much easier to get caught. That's for sure with the internet. So ideally, just watch out for that. Use reference photos you have rights to. Like, you've got wildlifereferencephotos.com. You've got a lot of people will go to like SeaWorld or whatever and take photos. You're gonna turn it into yours now, though still using royalty-free photos that you have rights to use. I'm not talking about just stealing some random person's photos off the internet. There's so much misinformation out there. Like, people will tell you, well, as long as you change 30% or 20%, I've heard every percentage possible. I talked to a copyright lawyer. They're like, there's no percent. If they can remotely recognize that it came from that other photo, you are violating the photographer's copyright. So, yeah, there's a lot of copyright misinformation out there. And it's always interesting to me how angry people get about it and how defensive. Like, you violated someone's... Are you just mad because you put in the work and it was a waste of time because you really shouldn't sell it now? Or because you got caught? Like, I don't know. Okay. Whoop. Missy said, where do you find your sleeveless tops? I like them. Thank you. I have been collecting them for years. Like, most of my clothes are pretty old. So I'm not... Target, probably. Target and Ross are my, like... usual go-to places for clothes. I'm not a big spender on clothes. Karina said, I missed the start of this, but that background and the color look incredible. I purchased some templates now. Just got to get the airbrush, all in good time. Nice. Starving Artist Collective said, if you, oh, I missed that. No, I am not using heavy body paint. This is regular Liquitex Basics. I avoid the heavy body paint as much as possible. It dries too fast. It's too thick. I don't like it. It doesn't work for my techniques. Great if you're using like a palette knife, you need really thick paint, sure. But for this, not so much. Where are we? Oh, that just jumped. Gibson really wants a belly rub. No, he'd flop over too if you did, or paw at you and you do that. That's just how he lays. Susan said, recently did a picture of your frogs. I gave you credit for the two. One, they're yours, and two, to let other people know you can't just use a picture without your permission. That's awesome. Thank you. Zay said, I just started my first acrylic painting with a blue background. I'm trying to paint my subject over in yellow, but I seem to push the paint around and still see the blue underneath. Let it dry and put another coat of white. Then let it dry, put another coat of white. Just repeat that until you've covered that blue. And then you can paint the yellow on top of the white. Kimberly said, my professor said as long as you change the picture by 20%, you can copy their work. I think it's just wrong. It's legally wrong. Your professor's a freaking idiot. I'm sorry, he just is, or she, whatever. They're an idiot who should stop. This amazes me how many professors give misinformation. Like, that's an actual violation of copyright. Like, you can't, there is no percentage. Ask the Obama Hope guy that did that poster. That's not what that photo looked like, but if it's at all recognizable, and people are like, oh no, he won. No, he didn't. He had to settle out of court because he was going to lose. The copyright owner will pretty much always win the copyright lawsuit. Like, it is rare if they don't. That's not how that works. That professor is so painfully wrong, and he should probably talk to an actual copyright lawyer before he keeps getting misinformation. The problem, this is why it makes me so mad. He's putting all of the artists he teaches that BS to, he's putting them at legal risk. You think that if those artists get sued, they're going to go after the professor? No, they're going to go after the artist. He's not at risk. That is such, like, it just frustrates me when people give legal advice. Like, and I'm not a lawyer, talk to a copyright lawyer. But I'm telling you right now, that's not a thing. I did talk to a copyright lawyer. This 20%, 30%, 40%, there is no percent, none. Your professor's an idiot. And if he gives any other legal advice, I would dismiss it too. I would just assume he doesn't. It's information that's been spread for years, and no one seems to know. And the copyright lawyer I talked to is she's like, I don't even know where that started. It's not a thing. It's never been a thing. Don't know who came up with that. If it was just someone's making up excuses to do what they wanted, I don't know. Let's see. Bye, Karina. Tara said, was it okay to post that leopard? Absolutely, that was a lesson. And so here's another thing. So in that case with that leopard that you did, you could sell that. That photo, where did I get that reference photo? Was it Pixabay or Unsplash, or that one could have been Wildlife Reference Photos. Wherever I got it, if I got it from Wildlife Reference Photos and you bought the photo, you have permission to use it, which you would need to do anyway. If I got it from Unsplash or Pixabay, which I think is where it's marked on the Patreon thing, I forget where it came from, but you have complete rights. You could copy it exactly like I did, and you have just full rights to sell it because I copied it like the reference. So I didn't change anything really. Maybe adjusted the crop minorly. That's different. You have full rights to sell, make prints, everything. You have just as much right as I did to use that photo. So that's something where people get a little bit confused too. Let me try this. Hold on. Okay, let's let that set for a moment. But a lot of people misunderstand too. Like, they'll think, well, I painted that, now it's mine. No, that photo, the reference photo, is royalty free, meaning anyone can use it. Anyone else, if you're painting it just like that, they can too. And so I can't be like, you can't paint that leopard. I painted it in charcoal, you can't paint it in charcoal. No, we both have rights for that, to use that photo. So you are fine. Yeah, and especially in that case, like it's for Patreon where I'm teaching you how to do that. Or if you followed it with the one on YouTube, same thing. If you found that photo on Unsplash Patreon, wherever I got it, you have just as much right to paint it just like I did in that case, because I didn't change anything. Now let's say I took that leopard and I made all of his spots fish instead of spots, or something like super creative, super weird, changed it up. That you can't copy exactly without giving, then I hold the royalty to the weird factor. You could do that. Hear another. You can do that, or paint or draw that leopard, but you wouldn't do fish as the spots in the way that I just did. Like you couldn't copy that exactly. But as far as that reference photo, you'd have just as much right to use as I do, and that includes selling and making prints. So your charcoal drawing of the leopard, you can sell and make prints. So that gets into being a little bit different. Whoops, that just jumped too far. Do I think oil paints are more environmentally friendly than acrylics? No. I don't know where that came from, but no, definitely not. Sally said, last year I painted a pair of they're more toxic, so I would say no. Sally said, last year I painted a pair of canvas shoes for my daughter with made-up scene of Harry Potter. Is that too wrong? I didn't sell them. I posted a picture after the stream. Anything Harry Potter related, Harry Potter theme, yeah, that's a violation of trademark. So that's a little bit different because now you're getting into trademark versus copyright, but you didn't sell it, you're doing it as, that's fan art. You're not, you're generally okay. They could, more likely than not, they would just be like, hey, take that down. I don't want that on your website. But in that case, you're fan art, so you're this is not legal advice, by the way, because this is getting into that kind of fuzzy area of fan art, which technically fan art is a violation of trademark or copyright, depending on, what exactly you're going with. But most companies are cool with fan art for the sake of fan art, so you're probably okay there. But that's not legal advice, because technically anytime we violate a company's trademark or copyright, that you can't take Mickey Mouse and make him in a completely different pose that you invented and be like, it's mine now because I didn't copy anything. They own the trademark to Mickey Mouse. You see what I mean? So it does get a little fuzzy on some stuff. EO said, when you're new to selling art, what would be the price range? Does it depend on the size and medium? There's no way to answer that. I have a video that you can watch is this dry enough? I think we're okay. I have a video that talks about, gives you some tips on breaking that down. Always start lower and raise your price as you go. But I've seen where people are like, here's a painting for $5, and you're like, that doesn't even cover your cost of supplies. That doesn't make any sense. So there's no way for me to tell you. How are you marketing? There's so many factors. There's not a base price I can give you on that, but I do have a video if you want to watch that kind of breaks down some tips for you on coming up with prices, figuring out per square inch. You can factor in how much you spent on supplies. There's just so much when it comes to that, but there's no way for me to say, oh, you should start by charging this much. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. I say unfortunately just because it makes it harder for us. It's always, it is a never-ending battle for artists to figure out what to sell their work for. But it's always better to start low and raise it as you go than to start high, realize no one will buy it at that price. Oh, I thought it was worth $10,000, but no one will pay that. Now I have to lower my price. You don't want to do that either. Let's see. Come back, Susan. Susan said, once upon a time, schools had a special compensation to allow them to copy a small percentage of education books for students, and perhaps some took that idea and ran with it. Now, that is possible. So there is, for educational purposes, you're able to sort of violate copyright, but it's even that gets into, so those get into those more gray areas where there's more involved, and it's just always safer to avoid it. But yeah, there are exceptions, like if you're doing a parody, but then people will be like, well, it's a parody. No, it's not. I don't think you know what parody means. So there are exceptions to that. I know an artist who would, Jaime Jimenez, he would do different things with Disney characters or characters from cereal boxes and stuff, but he turned into something else and did make a parody of it. And so, you know, then you're getting into a whole other thing that I haven't done a ton of research on because that's not my thing. So that I can't really give you much advice on. That's definitely one of those where I would say contact a copyright lawyer. And you don't want to talk to just any lawyer. It needs to be a copyright lawyer. So I'm just mapping out about where his colors, like where things go. Yeah, Kimberly said the public domain rule is tricky too. Some artists 100 years since an artist's death, some cease 100 years from the date. Yeah, that gets weird too because there are exceptions to some of those where it doesn't totally make sense. Like, did the family take over part of it? Like, the family can renew some? I don't know. There's stuff I haven't really researched it. It's just one of those like, yeah, I just will not do that. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of those exceptions to things. But I mean, as a general rule, why would you, if you're an artist and you're wanting to make a name for yourself, you're not going to want to do that by copying someone else's. That's not going to make a name for you other than a bad one. You want to create your own work. You don't want to copy. Like, why would you want to, we'll use me as an example. Why would you want to, if you get to the point, now for learning, yes, but when you get to the point where you're selling your work, why would you want to compete with me? That I'm already creating those originals. It makes sense. Turn it into something yours. Make your own. So you're not like, you don't want that. You don't want to compete with another artist like that. You want to be creating something that is completely unique to you, that is yours. And once you get to the point where you're selling, like, you don't want to be trying to sell work where you followed a tutorial. You want to be selling work you did that is yours, that belong, like the whole concept, everything about it is yours. Don't forget to head over, if you have not already, to our MeWe group to enter for a chance to win this painting that will be pretty by the time I'm done. We're not quite there yet. We're at that ugly mapping out stage. I'll have to adjust the camera. It's kind of like making this one muddy mess and you're not really seeing what I'm seeing, unfortunately. Get this laid in here and then we'll adjust that while it dries. Mooney said, was in an equine art group where another artist posted a paint by number from a well-known artist that she claimed as an original. Alerted admin was called out in group as a crybaby. Oh God. No, I don't have a lot of, there's tolerance in the sense that I want to educate somebody who just doesn't know. Okay, this color is really, got to make some adjustments here. But too many people want to justify why they think they can. Well, here we go. Oh, that's actually much better. Why they think they can violate someone's copyright. And I have a feeling that if you're, wow, that's actually really accurate now. I have a feeling if they dismissed it, it's because they themselves are also guilty of violating copyright and the type of artist. And you see a lot of that and it drives me crazy. A lot of those artists, I've got a chunk of paint on there I'm trying to get off for my easel or my palette, but a lot of artists who make excuses for why they think it's okay, they can do what they want. I painted it, it's mine. And then the concept of, like, half of the thumbs downs I'll get on this video are going to be from people who are like, no, it's mine, I can paint what I want. Okay, we'll have fun with that. I'm pretty strict about that in our art groups too. I don't allow people to make bad legal, make the claim that you can do what you want because it's yours and all of that. We usually will either remove the post or eventually remove the person because they usually get really combative, because I don't want someone, you shouldn't be taking legal advice like from that anyway, but somebody giving that kind of advice, it's like, you're going to get someone sued because you're just straight out wrong. And I allow fan art in the group. Like, I'm okay with that. But when you're claiming it as your own, that's where it turns into an issue. For me, anyway. Is Gibson, yeah, Gibson's still on his back. He is a classy hound. Let's see. Rhonda said, how do you go about getting prints made of your work? I'm in Australia. I use Fine Art America, and then both of the stuff I use are here in the US. So Fine Art America, I'm not sure if that's available for you. But I use that, and then Giclée Today. So like when I go to Aquashella and I bring prints with me, it'll be Giclée Today. Those are really like just amazing quality. I've been really happy with them. When I print postcards, I use Vistaprint. And I used to use Vistaprint for like printing other prints, but their quality is too inconsistent. Like I have to lighten up all of my stuff for postcards because they almost always print ridiculously dark. And sometimes they'll print like the opposite. It's just, they're very inconsistent. So they're fine for like marketing stuff or like I said, postcards. But for prints, I don't go with them on that. Blocking in our shadows here. I'm using a reddish purple color. That just jumped. Oh my gosh, I'm way behind. Here we go. Ever thought of digitizing your art, drawing, and painting on screen with a touchscreen pen? I've done digital painting. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. Fiddle Joel said, yeah, who knows if a version of Dogs Playing Poker done with fish would fly. Shayna, and even then, like, I don't know, that's not interesting to me. I want my own. I want to make my own design. I don't want to make a version of somebody else's, but that's me. Shayna said, it was funny when you joined Joseph's live stream the other day. Last minute, he was like, you're late. And I was like, you're late, even though I only joined like 5 minutes before you. I was at Joseph's live stream. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to Nick and Joseph. Joseph have been 2 different channels, by the way. I say that in a way that makes it sound like it's one channel. But Joseph he's been live streaming every day, or not every day, every week. It's lots of fun. And I was there early, and I'm watching, and I left, I came back, and the live stream was gone. It wasn't on his channel, it wasn't anywhere. And I was like, okay, it said it started at like 2 or 1, I forget what time it was. And so I'm like, well, maybe I assumed he canceled it, because I refreshed several times, and I went to his page, and it wasn't showing at all. And I checked on MeWe, didn't show anything. I'm like, okay, he must have had to cancel for some reason. And then like, I go and nap, and then we left. I napped. We got up. My husband had to go get his license renewed. I'm sitting in the DMV's parking lot because I don't want to go in there. But I'm like, wait, now his live stream's been on forever. What happened? I don't know what happened there. So I was really, really early. So early that it disappeared. Elaine said, I like the background, you are leaving in, looking good. Thank you. Yeah, we want to, so see how I'm leaving some of that. We want to make it look fairly translucent. So I'll come back through with a transparent mixing white paint or something like that. So we get a little bit of a tint, but we want some of that background to show through because those fins are fairly translucent at the edges. Fiddle Joel said, I am loving this painting. I have kept a goldfish in a small pound outdoors for probably a decade now. Oh, wow. She's the size of my hand. That is awesome. Joseph said, this is news to me. Must investigate this crime. Yeah, I don't know where it went. It was gone. And I kept refreshing, and it was not showing on your page. It wasn't showing on my feed. It wasn't showing anywhere. So I was like, okay, I will just nap. And I failed the nap, and then got up and went with Matt to get his license renewed. And went and I did get a new coral that day, so that was fun. Went to the fish store, got water and a new coral. Yeah, so I was super surprised to see the live stream had been going. I'm like, I was looking for it. I was early too. I even commented that I was early. Okay. Alana said, tips for painting fire and have it look realistic. My cousin wants me to paint a skull on fire for him. Airbrush if possible. That gives, I think, the best result. Like by far. But layers and glazes, translucent layers. So you're going to use a combination of oranges, yellows, blues, reds, magenta. Like you want to have a lot of glazes, and pay attention. Like get a good reference photo and notice where it fades, where parts are yellow and then they're red and then they're almost a blue black. Like notice the glazing. So you can do it glazing. Airbrush is ideal if you've got that. If not, lots of glazes, lots of translucent layers would be my tip for you there. Okay. Let's get some of these lighter bits in here. Gail said, Gibson moved. I was beginning to think downtown was frozen. Kimberly said, I suppose if a historical reference of another artist is embedded in your work, it might be okay. Yeah, I mean, there are times where you can print Van Gogh stuff, no problem. Like there are things where you can. There's certainly exceptions to everything. So it's not, unfortunately, as black and white as it would make it easier if everything was super black and white with like this is always going to be something not to do and that sort of thing, but it's not. But as a general rule, you're pretty safe. I'm getting paint all over my elbow. You're pretty safe. Just if it's not yours, don't do it. I mean, and if you're doing it for practice, that's obviously one thing. And especially in a case like this where I paint things where I'm showing you guys how to do it. So it makes sense. Like you're fine to copy mine for your own practice. But when you're doing that, you don't really want to be selling and making, well, I don't want you to sell and make prints. But unless, like I said with the leopard one, where we all had rights to use that photo, then sell and make prints away. This is more peach. Yours is coming out looking more gold. Mine's more peach on my, like in person. You still have a little bit of time, about 15 minutes or so to enter for a chance to win this painting over on our MeWe group. Yeah, another one, a good tutorial too. Oh, what is he calling his channel now? He changed it. It's Ryan. Crap, what is his channel now? Something, I'm going to have to look it up. He's got some really good ones with fire too. And his are really realistic. Creative painting, what did he, hold on. I'll find out. What is that? Hold on. I don't remember when his last video was, so it might take me a bit to find it. I cannot remember what he changed his channel name to. Is it Ryan? No, I'm even questioning myself. I haven't talked to him in a while. Apparently this is going to take a while, a little bit longer than I thought it would. Let's do... Wait, there it was. Stay Creative Painting with Ryan O'Rourke. That's a mouthful. Ryan, it's too long. But God, he's amazing. He's got, I know he had at least one with a campfire or something. I remember seeing the thing for that, so that might be helpful too. Oh, good. Looks like Joseph has a tutorial too. Nice. Just getting some of these little lines in the fin there. Let's get some of the white. I'm going to get some transparent mixing white out for some of this if I've got it over here. Hopefully I do. Nope, that's not it. Hey, there we go. subscribe to his channel. LOL. Searched. Inspire video came up immediately. Thanks. Nice. And Angelique said, love you. Could you teach me how to make a stenciled background like you did here, but without an airbrush? Maybe trace with transfer paper and hand paint or sponge. Probably a sponge, just like you normally would do any stencil. I mean, there's not really much to teach or go over there. But just sponge or paint on I would think would be the easiest. I'm just going to use a little bit of water. Is that going to pull that up? I don't want to pull the airbrushing up. Hold on. I don't like the eraser that I have out for this. Let's see if this one works. Who's whining? Oh, it's you. Whiny Gibson. That's like what he does all the time. He wants to go on a walk all the time, and so he walks around whining and staring longingly out the front window. I don't care if some of this shows. I just want to get the majority of the line, the harsher line out. Yeah, when you do a stencil like sponging it on, it's not going to be exactly the same, but it'll still be pretty. This gives a much softer look. Okay. Get rid of those eraser marks. Yeah, Gibson is such a drama queen. Oh my God. You have no idea. I mean, Sighthounds can be drama queens anyway, but Gibson, man, does that dog take it to another level. He's not looking, he's looking away from me like right now, like, can't even talk to you right now. Can't believe you're telling people. A little bit too much water in this, so it's going to get a bit runny, I think. Let's see. Sally said, was that the white from the tracing paper you just removed? Yes. Yes, it was. So here, adding a little bit more of the titanium white. I'm using the same brush. I'm just holding it to the side. We'll switch to a liner in just a moment here for some smaller details. Actually, we need to get the blues on his face. So what I'm going to do is take the same greenish blue color that I used for the background. I'm going to use that for the reflection on the shadow part of his face. I've just added more white to it. So like my reference photo, it would be more like purples, kind of purples, but different tones. But in this case, because I want it to look like it goes with this background, I've got to pull the same background colors in for those shadows. Do my dogs sleep in my bedroom with me at night? Gibson does. Wade sleeps in, well, Matt works nights, so Gibson stays up all night with Matt. He only sleeps in his crate for a few hours before I get back up. But Wade can't be trusted out of his crate unattended. He chews on things like the wall, my shoes, the list goes on. So with Wade, he sleeps in his crate, which works out really well, and then Gibson sleeps with me in my room. Which is great, unless he is imitating a skunk like he was this morning. That was not a pleasant way to wake up. Shayna said, I've always wondered, why do you live stream so late, forgetting it's 3 a.m. in England, not America? There you go. Yeah, it's 8 p.m. here when I start. Use a liner for some of this. Gibson doesn't typically snore, no. He's pretty quiet. He just sometimes, I think it's the treats. So we've been giving him, oh, if you are dealing with dogs terrified of fireworks, I'll tell you one of the things that's working for us right now. And it would depend on the dog and how terrified they are for sure. It won't work on every dog, but what we've been doing, we got these little tiny treats. And Wade especially, Gibson handles it better. He gets a little bit nervous, but Wade really gets scared with the fireworks. And idiot neighbors think that, not my good neighbors, but like they're actually in the HOA below us. They're the worst. They think that they should set off fireworks 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after, right behind my house. And the dogs are having a breakdown over this. So we've decided to try, because you can't, like, if it's just the 4th of July, it wouldn't be a big deal. You just, you can medicate the dog or give them something to keep them calm. But they're doing this for weeks before and weeks after. It's so frustrating. It's so inconsiderate. And if anyone asks them not to, like, hey, it's scaring my dogs, the way these people act, which is funny because technically they're violating the law. It's not legal here. And yet they will freak out on what a crappy neighbor you are and how horrible, and it's just one night a year, except it's not. It goes on for a month straight because it's the 2 weeks before, about 2 weeks after. It's so bad. But they're such jerks about it. Like, it's actually, it's crazy to me how inconsiderate people are. Maybe they don't realize how scared dogs get, or I don't know. So, and it's that, and please don't burn down my house, because that's kind of what you're like. That's a bit of a concern. There's a lot of dry brush. It's Texas. It's summer. There is dry brush everywhere, and you are going to burn down my house. But anyway, moving on. What I've been doing for the boys, every time the fireworks go off, oh, they're going right now. Oh, they are going off everywhere. Holy crap, I've not seen them outside my window. They're like, hold on, I'm going to have to actually, speaking of, I'm probably going to have to go get treats. As soon as the boys realize that it's going off, they're like right behind my house. It's pretty, but it's right behind my house. So as soon as those get bad, yeah, Gibson's noticing. He's like, I am a treat. So what I've been doing is every time they go off, the boys come to me and they get a treat. And so they're starting to learn that noise is a positive thing. The fact that Wade is still passed out and doesn't care that they just went off. It wasn't the bold ones. These were higher pitched ones. That's a big deal. But the other, not last night, the night before, someone was setting them off again. And both boys come running down the hall. I was in my office at the time. Wade was licking his lips as he ran to me. So he's getting over, I mean, you can see he's not afraid right now. So that's kind of a big deal. Gibson's right over here behind me because he's like, I am owed a treat. I know when that sound happens, you give treats. But it's working really well for helping them not have a full-blown panic. It's, Wade's completely unaware that anything just happened, and Gibson's just like, meh, fine, I guess I'm not getting anything. I'll just go lay down. But it's really been good for getting them to associate that sound means positive instead of something to panic over. Now that is not going to, it's getting worse. It's not going to work for every dog depending on how terrified the dog is. But if it's a mild, like they're nervous but not flipping out, that may be an option for you. Okay, anyway, where were we? Elaine said, I was painting and used an oil water paint mixed with acrylic. Well, they said you can. Then when I did it, it rubbed with my finger. I was rolling off acrylic oogies. I don't think those should be mixed. You can see, they can see them out the window. It's very pretty. It's just very close, and those are very flammable, and it is... yes, I am a full-time artist, Heather. Let's see. Zay said, what is your work schedule like? Do you paint, draw every day? Do you post everything you create? I do post everything you create. I paint and draw almost every day. It definitely varies. Okay, now the deeper ones scare them more, and that was one of the deeper sounds. You're fine. I'm going to try to just not make a big deal out of it with you. Let's move this out of the way, because I don't want to get up and get treats. Wade's the one who's more nervous. I think Gibson right now is just being opportunistic. He knows, like, you owe me a treat right now. But if Wade's not being super scared, let's roll with that. Come on, you're usually the one who's not as big of a pansy with this. You be calm. And there it goes. That's getting noisier. That's going to be a bigger problem for them. But Wade still... Oh, nope, Wade just heard it. Hold on, let me go get the treats because he probably is going to eventually get up. Give me 1 second, and then we'll finish up this guy with the details. I know, Gibson. I will get treats. You have to lay down. Gibson, down. I will bring treats. Go lay down. Down. Good boy. Stay. 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 This is amazing that Wade is not flipping out right now. Like, you don't even know how incredible that is. Good boys. You won. Also, I'm pretty sure these treats are why Gibson skunked me out of my bedroom this morning. They smell kind of terrible. They're just little, like something small that every time, like, they get nervous. So the Wade is still laying down right now. I'm pretty excited. I think I may try this when it comes to thunderstorms too. But him the other night running down the hall towards me, I was in the office, and so I hear them both come running, and Wade licking his lips. It's like, he's not scared. He thinks I'm owed a treat. I heard the sound, you give a treat. So it's really, really good. But anyway, yes, I post everything at Crazy, or Zay, sorry. I don't paint and draw every day, because sometimes it's like the editing side. I don't, Tuesdays, it's all the business side of things. Mondays mostly, sometimes I get to paint on Mondays. That varies. I usually paint Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Monday, and obviously Wednesdays when I live stream. I am so impressed that they're not, like, that they're this calm right now. I'm really excited that this trait thing is working. I really would. Gibson usually isn't bothered by thunder. Wade is, so I'm gonna have to try that on him with that too now. I wasn't sure if it would work on him, but I figured may as well give it a try. What's the worst? I'm out a few extra treats. Let's see. Whoop, that just jumped too far. Ariel said, my neighbors have been using fireworks for 2 weeks straight. Terrifying considering that we're surrounded by dry brush. Same here. It is the same here. This woman, so I'm in a couple of the like local neighborhood groups, not mine, like I won't mind too, but they're like the one that's below me. And some woman, she's just a weird attention whore anyway, but she posted, hey, my daughter's, a picture of her daughter dancing. My daughter's 15. I'm moving in soon. We're new from this area. Can everyone give her wish her a happy birthday? And it's like, you're asking a bunch of strangers on the internet and you're posting a photo of your daughter dancing in a questionable manner. Like, this is weird. Then she'll post things like, I just woke up to this morning and started, like weird, well, that one, the deeper sounds scare them more. Come here. Get a treat. But she's just, anyway, she writes this post, here Gibson, that is, oh, did you drop it or did you dropped it? Telling her neighbors off in a very very combative, saying what pieces of crap her neighbors are. I just moved into this neighborhood and I can't believe that you guys just won't let kids have fun because the fireworks being illegal. And it was bizarre, them saying, you know, we've got all this grassland around us. We should at least be able to use to pop the fireworks off there. And you're like, do you not understand how fire works? Like, not fireworks, but how fire happens. Like, that is insane to me, how some of these people, this sense of entitlement and not even caring about other people's stuff. Is it bad again? Tom, I'm just gonna fill you two full of treats. What, you want a treat? You want a cookie? Oh, look. You're going to go look, or you want a cookie? Come here. Come. Is it worse? Let me have to put them out with my husband. Hold on. These ones are getting too bad. It's not working. The lower sounding ones seem to bother them more. And neither one are taking the treats now. So, yeah, we're going to put them out with Matt. It's, holy crap. What is today? We're not even close. You should see the explode, like the whole sky is lit up. Does anyone want treats? Gibson, you want that? No? Okay, we're picking you guys out then. Come on. You want to go get Dad? not there. I can put on music so that that also helps, having the music going, but I can't have it in here because copyright. So they're out there listening to some Vivaldi. Okay. But yeah, it was insane to me, the neighbor who was talking so much. I mean, she was so combative, like how stupid neighbors are and how inconsiderate. And it's like, wait, you're violating the law, but you're saying anyone else who wants to be safe and not have their dogs freaking out is inconsiderate. I don't get involved in any of this. I don't talk to anybody in any of these groups. I don't want to. They're apparently all pieces of crap. But no, it was bizarre to me. Like this, you're not allowed to even question it was crazy. I couldn't believe that somebody posted it. But then again, some of the stuff people post in the neighborhood groups, like there's one girl, her husband is the electrician that I've used. And so she runs her business through the Facebook group. So you would be like, oh, she's going to be super professional. Yeah, she ordered something from like Kroger or Walmart or something, and it didn't get delivered to her, which is pretty common. That happens all the time where stuff gets delivered to the wrong address or it never shows up or whatever. She commented accusing her neighbors of she didn't say that they came to her door and stole it. She thinks that it was delivered to a neighbor's house, and she goes, I drove up and down the street, didn't even see it. Well, then there you go. There's your answer. She thinks that somebody went outside, got the delivery, and kept it. More likely than not, it wasn't even delivered to our neighborhood, but she assumed, like the way that people assume, like how they assume the worst. She had 3 posts going off on neighbors telling them, I hope you enjoy your groceries and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you need to contact Walmart and deal with them on that because they're the ones who screwed this up, not your neighbors. It's so weird how people have no sense of, maybe let's not try to make all our neighbors hate you. Simple enough, right? But yeah, it's bizarre the way some of these people behave. Like really bizarre. And then that whole thing where they're like, you should just accept that they want to violate the law and put your house at risk by playing with fireworks because it's what they want to do. And you're just like, but why? I don't like, why do those of us following that just want you to simply follow the law for safety reasons? It's so crazy. Yeah, LA for drinks, they're very well behaved. They're very good boys. So hopefully being in the other room, it was really abnormally loud in here. I've not been in the studio yet with that. And the fact that even Gibson wasn't taking the treat, it was too much for him. But they seem to have stopped. So hopefully the boys will be calmed down now. It just seems so unfair that everyone's dogs have to go through that kind of terror every year. And not just like, if it was just on the 4th of July, I'd be like, all right, we just know we have to give Valium or whatever to the dogs, get them to calm down. You know, there are things we can do once. But to do it every night for basically a month is too much. You can't keep a dog sedated for that long. So, yeah, it's really frustrating. Of course, I just don't get the whole desire to play with fire, so there's that. Maybe I just don't understand. Eo said, what brand are the treats? I missed it. Those ones are Blue Buffalo. I don't necessarily recommend Blue Buffalo stuff. That was just what was available and we needed treats that night. Blue Buffalo has had so many recalls. I would never feed their food. So it's funny, somebody asked recently how I got to where I was feeding raw and what started that. It was actually Blue Buffalo. I was feeding Blue Buffalo years ago to my Italian Greyhounds. Like, we're talking 15, 20 years. No, not 20 years ago. It would have been 2005. Is when I got Jessie, or when Jessie was born. But they were... I just lost my train of thought. Oh, so I was on that and they started having all these dog food recalls. And so I started getting, in maybe 2006, 2007, right around there, that's when all these recalls started happening. And so I got really nervous. And that's really where I started researching raw and different diets where like you cook for yourself or cook for the dog yourself and all of those different things. So, hey, fireworks going off. Wonder if someone started a fire. Or not fireworks, sirens. But anyway, yeah, Blue Buffalo kind of was part of what led me to that because of the recalls. These are just treats and they're not eating that much. So I'm like, we'll go with it. The ingredients look okay. But I, like, as a normal diet, I wouldn't. I'm not putting my name behind them, that's for sure. Zay said, Wade just knows he's on the live stream. Let's see. Matt just yelled at Gibson's following. Gibson wants back in. I can hear him crying and whining. He wants to go on a walk. He thinks he's going to miss out on his walk. And Gibson will walk around whining, like high-pitched whining. And it's what, 9 now? We've got hours. Matt and I will go out and take him out to take a break. We'll all go on a walk. We've got hours before Gibson goes on a walk. Hours. And he'll start this whining. I hear Matt in there, Gibson. He's so rotten. He is the best accountability partner, though, to make us stay with walking. Gibson does not let you skip a night. Like, unless it's raining, obviously. But, like, Gibson is, you are walking him. He is not going to let you forget. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't even think about that with PTSD, people having to deal with that with fireworks. It's even worse. Like, it's not good. Let's see. We have a text. We have a winner. The winner is from Texas. Oh, this one's coming fast. Or close. Whatever. The winner is Douglas Smith for this painting. Hope you like Goldfish, Douglas. Congratulations. Man, there are a lot of sirens going off now. I hope they started their own house on fire and not their neighbors. God, people are inconsiderate. And not just that they're inconsiderate. This is the thing that gets me. The people that argue, and you listen to their argument, you read their grammar, their spelling, their everything. It's like, these are not people who I would think were highly educated in anything. So and you want to play with fire. It's like Beavis and Butthead all over again. These are not the people you want playing with explosives. So we're not talking about, it's just like, holy crap. So yeah, a little concerning. That's still a lot of sirens going on out there. You don't usually hear that many sirens up where I am because we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm like, curious to hear if somebody did start someone's house on fire. Yeah, Elaine said, I totally feel like leave the pyro to the experts. 100% with you on that. Look, I like fireworks. I'm not opposed to it. And I get one night a year, everyone deals with the sound, the dogs, we just give them volume or whatever. If that was the case, great. But you get these idiots out there that will set, for weeks, they're messing with this stuff. And the argument of, just let the kids have fun. Kids are the last people I want playing with explosives. That is an odd sound. Hope it's not like raging fire sound. Kimberly said, you confront them just the way, or they just tell you to relax. The fire department will take care of it. Astonishing ignorance. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, you read their arguments on why you're wrong. And of course, you would, the people who say, hey, can we not do this? Like, they call you a Karen, or they call them a Karen, whoever, not me, because I don't talk to anybody. But it's like, it is bizarre, the sense of entitlement of, I can do what I want, even though I'm the one breaking the law. You're ridiculous to not want me breaking the law and potentially starting a fire. It's weird. I don't understand it at all. But I guess that can be said with a lot of stuff when it comes to neighbors. Like, it is weird. I think that we were better off before social media and stuff when it came to neighbors. Right now, the way people talk to each other, and like, you didn't used to know that much about your neighbors. Now you have to know everything they feel about everything. Like, you can look at their profile and see, wow, that person is, I don't want to spend time with them. I don't know. It's like we know too much. I don't want to know that much about my neighbors. I don't want, I would really rather not. I really like this guy, like, a lot. I'm going to have to paint one like this for myself. Maybe I'll do saltwater fish and put it in the office. Or paint Ben. I haven't gotten any good photos of my beta, the one that I have right now. I don't know if I've shared pictures of him. I did not have good luck with betas. The first one lived about 1.5 years, which is still not that long for a beta. Then the next one got a weird tumor thing, and he I only had for a few months. And so I have my current Ben, who is beautiful. They all came from the same guy, but this fish is so pretty, and so I'm trying like to keep up on, or I don't know. I'm like, did the tumor come from the food I was feeding? I don't know. It may have had nothing to do with it. It could have been genetics, but he's only gotten bloodworms and mysis shrimp. The one I have now, I'm like, let's see if I can keep like him from having issues. So anyway, he is beautiful. I love him. Let's see. This actually comes down this way. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Elaine said, love the dots and the strokes, looking brilliant. Thank you. Cindy said, I have lived in Texas since 1984, and yes, they act like they should be able to do whatever they want. It's so, but see, even California was the same way. Everyone, just the way, the behavior is just so weird of this. It just seems like everyone everywhere, this sense of, I'm going to do what I want. Pull that fin in there. I didn't quite pull that down far enough. And I like this guy. Let's see. Shayna said, you'll be surprised how many narrow-minded and inconsiderate people there are. What's more sad is the fact that they genuinely don't see it. You can't reason with them or talk them down. Yeah, and if anyone tries to be rational with them, the thing that's odd to me is how combative they get. How like people being like, hey, this is why we feel that this way and why we're concerned about this, and how they start name calling, and you're just like, how did that devolve into that? Angie said, took her dog for a ride about the daily on the ATV around the neighborhood. Yesterday, someone called the sheriff. What? Why? Let's see. Whoops, this scrolled too far. Nikki Chickadee said, in Southern California, I lived in a mobile home park, and some would set off fireworks in the park, which is very stupid because homes can catch fire and burn down so quickly. That is something that people don't realize. Mobile homes are so, like, when they catch fire, they're gone quick. My grandmother lived in this really nice one. It was on her best friend's property. They had this huge property up in DeVore, California. And she lived in, it was so cute and so nice, and I don't know what went wrong, electrical or whatever. It goes up, it's just poof, gone. She didn't even have time to grab her purse like that. It was just run, it's gone, it's up. It's so flammable. Yeah, that is kind of terrifying that people, yeah, not good. So I live in the country where they shoot guns randomly. My dog really hates that. At least they can't shoot there. They can, I mean, we're in Texas, so yeah, they do. You usually get it, like New Year's, we get that a lot. And the thing, like, I'm not opposed to gun ownership or anything like that, but be responsible. And shooting off into the air like these idiots do is not responsible at all. That is like, oh my God. And the people doing that are all drunk. So you're like, let's just combine all the unsafe, like, this is not, no, it's bad. No, they do that here too. 4th of July will be bad that night. So I won't go walking that night because it's like, you don't want to get hit by some stray, like it's, yeah. Not safe. Winnie said, I'm actually a vet student in our nutrition class guest lecture. Basically, 7 out of 10 times, the pets that had problems that were related to diet were on Blue Buffalo diet. That's interesting. Here, if you're a vet student, be aware of Canidae. A lot of these more natural foods, so, sorry, I've told this about Canidae a few times, but it's not just Canidae. I've seen it with other foods too. So I worked at an animal hospital in San Dimas, California. They're not there anymore. But they would really push Canidae because the owner of the hospital, like that owned the building, they bagged Canidae in the back half. It was like this big barn. It was really cute. It was called Neighborhood Animal Hospital in San Dimas. It's, again, not there anymore, but San Dimas San Dimas Feed, I think it was called San Dimas Feed. The owner of that, or someone involved with that, they own Canaday. And so they really, that whole area, Canaday was just heavily pushed. The pet store people, they all, you know, the ingredients of Canaday were great. I don't know if there was mold in the food. I don't know what the deal was. I did see where it was packaged, and it was outdoors in a very dusty area, and there is an issue with mold in California, so that could have been it. Or I forget what kind they call it, but they, the dogs, we kept having dogs come in with ear infections, and it would be like a 6-month-old dog, a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, young dogs with prick ears too. So we're not even talking like a cocker, which is going to tend to have problems. We're talking young dogs that shouldn't be having problems with the ears. So they kept treating them, and they're like, what is going on? This is weird. And the vet's like, you know, he had never seen it anywhere else before he'd worked. And they started noticing the one thing all these dogs had in common: they all ate Canaday. Started telling, and it was bad because you couldn't tell the owners of Canaday because we'd get kicked out. They own the building. So the owners never had any idea. But in his own dogs, he had either labs or golden retrievers. I forget which he bred them. The owner of Canaday, one of the owners of Canaday. And his dogs were always in with ear infections too. But we started telling people, switch the food to anything else. You have crap pedigree, anything else, ear infections would clear up. Ear infections that we had been fighting with, medicated for months, and that was the one thing in common with the food. So it is so diet related, so many things. And I don't know what it is about these, like Canaday's supposed to be all natural and stuff, and it does have good ingredients. I don't know what it is that causes this sort of allergic reaction. I saw it also with my Italian Greyhounds. If I fed them the fish and sweet potato from, is it Natural Balance? If they got that kibble, they were fine. If they had the duck and potato one, their ears would start shaking their heads, ears would be itchy, and it would progress every time. So there's definitely something about the diet that was contributing to these ear things. But Canaday, when you're a vet and you have a client with Canaday, if they've got an ear infection, switch the food, it'll clear it right up. Let's see. Where are we? Ariel said, I tried feeding my dog Blue Buffalo a long time ago. He would spit pieces of it out on the furniture. I took it as a sign. Yeah, I would never promote Blue Buffalo. Like I said, these were just little treats. I just needed something small because they were really tiny. And I couldn't make it to the vet store, and they had them at Target. So, I mean, it's not their normal treat, that's for sure. You guys said, good morning from Sweden. It's 4:30 here. Good morning. One of my favorite bands is from Sweden. Let's see, I have a question. Do you ever paint acrylics on paper? I do not, but if I were going to, I would gesso the paper first. If so, what do you think the big difference is between paper and canvas? If you gesso it, it's just that it's going to be smoother. If you don't gesso it, that paint's going to soak right in. It bends. It's not as like sturdy. Like canvas is just sturdy. It's harder to hurt. Where paper, it's easy to rip. There's just a lot of things with paper where I feel like it's not as durable as painting on canvas. So if I can use canvas, that's my preference. Where did the reference photo come from? It came, I think this was Unsplash. If you look at Goldfish on Unsplash, it should come up pretty quick. Zay said, you said that you no longer take commissions. Is there a price that someone could offer you that you would take a commission now? Yeah, there is. And if I was interested enough, I mean, it's just that I don't have like that open on my website where someone could just easily hire me. There are times that I might do it, but it's hard because it's like trying to come up with the time and making sure, like, so when you take a commission, there's a lot of time involved in the back and forth and choosing your background and choosing whatever needs to be changed. It is very difficult to do that and then get my normal work done. Like there's no time for it. And so I can't offer the customer service that somebody paying me deserves. And that's really why I had to stop. Like it might take me 6 months on something that I'd have done in 3 weeks. It's just a problem. So that is my main reason why I stopped doing that. Like the time issue. Getting some more dark areas in here. Just gonna use the wet paintbrush and smudge that out a bit. Let's throw a few bubbles. Bubbles are really easy. We're gonna do black on the top. And I'm going use that kind of aqua color I was previously using. I need a clean paintbrush too. You will work. Let's see. EO said, "What color is your beta?" He's gorgeous. He's lots of colors. So he's a Dumbo. So he's a Dumbo placat. So he's got a short tail, but the long side fins. I won't do the full tail on the betas anymore. They have too hard of a time swimming, and they usually end up eating their own tail off just so that they can swim comfortably. So I went with a Dumbo this time, and he's mostly kind of pinks. He's like lavender and reds and pink. Like he's really pretty. I need to get some photos. Oops, scroll back. Elaine said, "Hold up the beta so we can see, please." I don't have him. I mean, he's in the other room. There's no way for me to show you him. Let's call him Bubbles. Rhonda said, "Not sure what is worse, fireworks all hours of the night or next door raided by cops on the regular basis." Oh crap. That's kind of terrifying. Fiddle Joel said, "I'm happy with keeping plants and no one has to come over to check on them if I only have to be gone for a day or two." Definitely a bonus there. Leisha said, "I've been having bad luck with betas recently too. Just lost out of the blue that I'd had for 6 months. Fine one day, gone the next. Fish and shrimp are fine. Other fish and shrimp are fine." Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't even know what happened with the first one kept eating everything. He'd eat the plants, he'd eat his tail, he ate everything, and I think he caused bloat. That's just guessing. The second one had that tumor thing, so I don't know what caused that, or if it was diet related or not, but yeah, just in case, I will try doing just frozen foods, no dry. So far he's done great. I just have to remember to always defrost his food every single day, which is sometimes a challenge. Good night, cats are pigs. Elaine said, "And Merrick's." Yeah, Merrick. So Merrick's sold out to Pedigree or one of those. I don't know. Merrick's is not what they used to be, and I started having problems. That was one of the foods that I had given the girls. So the girls were like kind of 50-50 raw and kibble. I had to keep kibble out all the time when Echo, until she was about 7 years old. If I did not have kibble available for her, she would get really sick and start vomiting. So like she just had to have food that she could snack on whenever worked for her. So I always had you can't do that with raw, obviously. So I tried Merrick too, and we had done that for a while and they were okay. And then they changed something and both the girls started getting really sick. So yeah, no Merrick. That is... I want to say they sold to Pedigree. I forget. Someone would have to fact check me on that. I don't remember. I want to say it was Pedigree. But we definitely noticed a difference when they sold out. I mean, I don't like kibble in general. And the only reason I did for the girls, like I said, with Echo, she would just get sick if I didn't have something for her to snack on. And that was the most practical way to go. But yeah, Merrick was no good. And if you don't know this already, if you buy food at like Petco or PetSmart or most pet stores, as long as you have at least half the bag left, you can return it and get store credit. Even if you didn't buy it there. Like the Merrick, I bought it from Amazon because I couldn't get to the store in time and rent. I don't remember what happened that I bought it from Amazon. But when it started making them sick, returned it. I just got store credit at Petco because they're just going to return it to Merrick or credit them or whatever. I forget. So the words are hard. So yeah, you can, if you ever have any dog food that just doesn't work out for the dog for any reason, you can get store credit for that. Like I didn't even have to have a receipt. You just get store credit. But you need to have the original bag and like at least half the bag left. I think it was half the bag, something like that. Okay, there is our fish. I like this guy. I need to paint one for me. I love this background with the colors, the orange and the teal. Like I am in love with this painting. I'm super jealous of the person who just won this. So yeah, let's get caught up with questions here. A few more. Casey said, "I really like the piece just the way it is. The damask background and the white goldfish before adding anything else." Let's see. Elaine said the ingredients look good. If the ingredients look good, what is happening? So two things are a problem with a lot of these kibbles. One, it's heated to a temperature that makes it carcinogenic. No matter what the ingredients are, that's not good for dogs to eat kibble. You are better off to feed them canned food. So there was misconception when I used to work at the pet stores. They used to say, oh, all canned food is the kibble, but with water added. So you're paying extra for water. No, it's not the same. It's heated differently. It's prepared differently. So canned is much, much better if you're going to go that route. But the kibble, the way that it's heated, it's convenient for us, but it's not like, so there's a lot of speculation. They need to do more studies on it. There's a lot of speculation that is part of why we've seen such an increase in cancer in dogs. It could be other environmental things. I mean, there could be many things involved in contributing, but that is certainly something concerning. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I don't need to. Why do I have a bunch of messages right now? Nikki, if you are watching right now, you haven't gotten your painting because I haven't shipped any of the giveaways out. I actually just put yours in a box today. So, or not a box, envelope thing. So yeah, those are going out soon. So yes, there is a reason. I just take forever. But yeah, going back to the ingredients on the dog food, it's the way that we heat them is largely to do with it. And as far as allergies, I don't know. Like with Canidae, ingredients look great, but we kept seeing, so like, I don't know if I ever saw a dog that didn't have ear issues that was eating Canidae. I suspect, and there is no science behind this. This is complete speculation. I suspect there is mold getting into the food the way it's packaged, and this is common with a lot of like these bigger name brands, these natural ones. It was out in a barn, in the open, in dust, and dirty, and it was filthy out there. And I wonder if mold was getting in. I think that might have been causing more of a fungal type situation. Theory, no scientific proof. I mean, other than that is they were filthy. Whereas like pedigree's done in a more sterile environment. Now pedigree's crap. I would never feed a dog that. But that is also more sterile. And so that's where I was like, I wonder if there is anything to it. I have no idea. It's nothing but a theory. But yeah. Let's see. Good night, Shayna. Kimberly said, yeah, the dogs are up. They took up shop and cleared the space. Oh, that just jumped too far. Janine said, your painting is beautiful, love. Yay, thank you. Thanks, LA for dreams. Let's see. Ma'am, I am always confused and stuck where I want to start when I see different reference photos. How can we overcome this? Stop thinking about it and draw. Paint and draw. Just get to that easel. There's no trick. We get caught up. I think we get in our own way because we overthink things. Stop overthinking it and go paint and draw. The end. Pick something. If it's a banana, it's a banana. Go paint and draw. Stop overthinking it. I think we have a tendency to think that every single thing we paint has to be the next greatest, best thing ever. You're not always going to be topping yourself. You don't need to. You need to keep painting and drawing, and you need to stop wasting time trying to find this different inspiration and how to make it perfect. Just go paint, go draw anything, and let your ideas start forming from there. But there's no, you're overthinking it. Just go paint and draw anything. Art by Dr. B said that fishy face is adorable. Well done, Lisa. Thank you. Okay, 9:59. Let's see, Fiddle Joel said, I'm a little jealous of Douglas. You and me both. I want this one. I'm going to have to paint myself one. I really like how the colors, I like this. Plus I love Goldfish. So yes. Zay said, I think my cats have worms. Do you know what may be causing that? I only feed them food called abound. They don't get worms from food. If your cats have worms, you have to first figure out what kind of worm. So you need to have a fecal test done by a vet, because if it's tapeworm, that's going to be treated very different than roundworm. If it's tapeworm, they're getting it from fleas. So like if a flea gets on them and they swallow it, they clean themselves and they swallow that is how they're getting tapeworm. So that is where that's coming. It's not they're not getting worms from the food though. That's not really a thing that typically happens. It's either outdoors, or if they keep getting it, I would say it's fleas. So you need to take a sample to the vet and have the vet tell you what that is, and then they'll tell you where to go from there on treatment. So yeah. Let's see. Sheila said, thanks for the lovely painting. It's so cute. Thank you. Okay. 10 o'clock. I started late and I'm ending on time. This is weird. Thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure to check out Nick and Joseph's channels, plural. It's not one channel. They are linked in the video description if I did my job right. I don't know. I usually don't do my job right. But check them out. Tell them thank you. They help so much. Make sure to be following us over on MeWe. Our art group over there is one of the biggest. I think it is it the biggest art group now on MeWe? We're very active. It's a big group. You can also follow my personal MeWe. Link is in the description where I post my frogs, dog photos, fish. Everything is posted over there. And then I've got my art page as well. And I think we're good. Yeah. That's it. We're done. I'm so jealous. I still need to sign this, but I really like this guy. Like he's one of my favorites I've done. I will see you guys on Friday. We'll be working in powder blender and colored pencil again. So yeah, that is it. Am I forgetting anything else? Tomorrow I'm gonna have a video. Hopefully it's gonna focus more on the reef tank and some new corals I got. And it's a painting you've seen, but I'm going to edit it. It's just going to be different. It's an older one. Anyway, that will be tomorrow. I'll see you guys otherwise on Friday. Bye. Well, awkward pause because I don't know where the button is. Bye.